Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Tonight, we're going to break down the LOVE formula: legacy, optimism, victory, and excellence. So I'm going to walk you through this mindset session and why it's important for you guys to actually fall in love with real estate investing, to understand the long-term value of this game. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone who you want to get value. A little bit of housekeeping for those who are kind of newer. We have our real estate ride along tour. That's where you get to spend the day with me touring properties in different phases of full gut rehab. We'll see about 15 to 20 properties. They're all boots on the ground members deals. So people from across the country who are tapping into the Philadelphia market. That's going to be Saturday, November 15th. If you want to come out and rock with me, tickets are already almost sold out. So reach out about that. DM me, drop a comment that says ride along, and we will get you tapped in there. If you're interested in our boots on the ground program, where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you, so completely done for you, turnkey, just DM me boots on the ground. We usually only bring on a couple of people per month. So we'll be taking those October slots. And then we have our plug and play program. If you just want to invest in your backyard and you kind of need help there, like, Brian, help me to unlock off market deals and just get me in the game. I'm in Florida. I'm in Texas. I'm in California. Just reach out about our plug and play program, and we can lean in with our team, with our deal analysts, and do all the heavy lifting for you so you guys can focus on getting results. Another piece of housekeeping, we are going to start shifting the Monday night lives. We've been doing these Monday night lives for about, I want to say, like 2 years straight. We are going to shift the Monday night live to Wednesday night. So it's going to become Wednesday night live. So that's going to be the same time, 8:30. So we'll still be rocking consistently. That's going to start next week. So we will kind of shift over next week. So guys, I want to get into this thing. Drop your questions in the comment section, and we will kind of keep flowing through this. So let's get into this LOVE formula. It's important. If you're like me, like, and I know you guys, I talk to a lot of you guys. You guys will book calls and kind of reach out. I see you, Latasha Blackwell. If anybody's on IG, you can always DM me, but we'll reach out. Latasha. But when you get into the game, a lot of us get in because we want to make money. We're like, look, I'm on my last dollar, or I'm sick of the 9 to 5. I just want to make enough to get out of the game, out of the rat race, out of the 9 to 5. And wanting to make money is a motivator. It can, lack of resources or lack of money, lack of financial freedom is a big motivator for getting into the game. So there's nothing wrong with having that there as something that is incentivizing you to take a leap of faith, because you've bet on a 9 to 5. You poured in 20, 30 years, some of you, into the 9 to 5, and then you go to retire and you're like, damn, I only got $50K in a IRA or a 401k, and that's not going to do anything for me. So real estate is that avenue where you can generate enough cash flow to fully retire, to get one foot out of the 9 to 5. But you can't have that as your only motivation, because real estate is a game of ebbs and flows. It's a game of money coming in and money going out, managing drama and contractors and different people. I mean, we do have like done for you programs, like our boots on the ground program, where we can do it for you and take on the drama for you. But if you're truly going to go out and do this yourself, you need to start to think about some of these love aspects of the game. For somebody like me, I got bit by the real estate bug. So I just fell deeply in love with the game. And that's why I'm obsessed with it. That's why we do lives every week. We kind of can't stop talking about it. But these are some of the things I want you guys focusing on. So the first letter of LOVE, L. L stands for legacy. So when you're thinking about falling in love with the game, you want to be focused on building a legacy, leaving a legacy. This is getting you outside of self. Wanting to make money, I'm not saying that it's a selfish motivation. I see somebody, one second, somebody just asked about the $27 program. I just dropped the link to our community group into the chat on YouTube. If you're on IG and you want to join the YouTube, just go to my IG stories and there's a link in there. You can join the YouTube. But you can click there. You can tap into our VIP course content. Right now, it's only $27. That pricing is probably going to change next week. So I'm just letting everybody know that right now. That pricing is going to change next week. If you want to get access to our VIP course content for the dirt cheap single pay $27, I would recommend clicking that link on the YouTube channel and tapping in. But when you get outside of the self of, I just want to make money, I want to do for me, you start thinking about your legacy, because you're not going to take these houses with you. You're not going to take the cash flow with you. When you check out, you're out of here. But what are you leaving behind to the next generation? This real estate, with inflation and the way that prices are going right now across the board on everything, and tariffs and all the stuff that we're dealing with, AI and automation, leaving a legacy of real estate is probably going to be one of the most important things that you do. And there may not be an opportunity deeper into the future for people to even get in like we are getting in. So even what you are viewing as like an expensive way to get in, this may be the cheapest way to get in. It's all a matter of perspective. So when you're thinking about legacy, it's building something that lasts. Your 9 to 5 don't last. The reputation you build at your job, you can't pass that down to your kids. Even your 401k or some of these other assets that are spendable, a lot of us will save more in the 401k than the real estate. Well, once you spend down the 401k, it's gone. There's no asset there. Assets appreciate over the course of time. They can last. They can outlast us, right? So you want to be focused with your energy, with your youth. Now I'm talking to some of you who are 30, 40, 50. We don't have that many more. I say we, because I'm in that bucket. We don't have that many more cycles. How many 10-year cycles do you have left on the planet? How many 5-year cycles do you have left on the planet? If you're not, and are you getting younger or older? If you're not taking your young energy, because you're only going to be older tomorrow. This is the youngest you'll ever be, regardless of how old you are. If you're not taking that youth energy and applying it to something, to building something that lasts, you're going to run out of energy. You're going to run out of time, and you're not going to have anything that lasts. So you need to be focused on legacy with real estate, not just the short term. I need money and I want to, how can I flip my money up 10K? That's all cool. But this is the next level. This type of thinking is what will actually get you to where you want to go and push you through those walls and allow you to fight through some of the tougher hurdles that will exist as a new real estate investor. Real estate, it's a transferable asset. Once again, you cannot transfer your position in your job. You cannot transfer your title. There are CEOs who can't transfer that. You want to focus on real estate because it is a transferable asset. And once again, your paycheck, that's going to stop when you stop. As soon as you stop working, if you get sick, if you come down with any type of illness, you stop, the check stops. With real estate, especially with buy and hold real estate, because some of us are of the buy and flip mindset. Nothing wrong with buying and flipping. In fact, most people just buy and flip to get more cash to buy and hold. But the beautiful thing about real estate, like I still have properties I built 10 years ago that are still paying me. You get paid over and over again for what you did, not for what you're doing. And it's a completely different mindset, which is why one rental property can completely transform you, because it will undo your way of thinking. When you think differently, your whole energy, how you're walking around the planet, you're truly a different person, because how you think creates a lot of aspects of your reality. It creates how you interpret things around you. So you can regenerate kind of your positioning and how you think about things, how you react to things by just getting one rental property, because you're going to start to see, wow, I can get paid over and over again for what I did 3 years ago. That's crazy conceptually. And then when you compound it with continuing to do deals and continuing to do deals, even if you only did 5, 10 in your lifetime, 10 properties paying you $500 a month. Well, rents go up with inflation. Now they're 10 properties paying you $1,000 a month. That's $10K a month. They're going to go up. They're going to cover you. They're going to give you cash flow. They're going to give you tax losses. It's a completely different paradigm shift. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone who you want to get value. If you're interested in any of our done for you programs, we have the plug and play program where we help you to source deals right in your backyard, done for you. We will connect you with contractors, architects, engineers, lenders. We'll give you all of our lending relationships, because the lenders that we work with are national anyway. You can work with them in Philly, in some of our favorite markets, or Baltimore, or you can work with them in California and across the country. Hawaii, like wherever you guys are. We have a lot of Canadian investors who are tapped in with us as well. We can show you how to get started there. And then we have our boots on the ground program. If you just want to piggyback off of my team, my operation, guys that I've built literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of houses with, we've actually used these guys to build over 100 boots on the ground properties. So for those who are like, is this real? Is Brian really building houses? We actually, for those who know, we just executed on a flip. This is a flip we've been working on for some time. And we ran into the crazy neighbor and we ran into everything on this deal, which sometimes is good because you learn. 2 boots on the ground members, they flipped their first house with us. They just made 60 to 70,000 on that, on one deal, 60 to 70K. For some of us watching, because I talk to you guys, I know you guys, that's more than your annual income on one flip. And we have another one that just hit the finish line. That's on the market. They might make another 60K. So, if you click that link, the offer.com, you have to scroll down. There will be like a sign up button. You just have to scroll down. It's there. And then you can tap into the 24/7 cash flow community, get access to the VIP course content. But yeah, we're doing deals verifiably. These are deals right on the MLS. You can look them up. But flip deals executed. We've built over 100 houses for people like you, investors from all across the country. We enjoy what we do. We like building houses. We have lots of properties we're managing for our clients. It's just what we do is the bottom line. It's not what looks very intimidating to you from your purview. And I understand it because it looked very intimidating to me. I'm not that different from any of you. I've just been doing this for longer, for over a decade. But doing one deal was very intimidating to me. In fact, buying a turnkey rental property, buying something move-in ready was extremely intimidating to me from a certain purview and at a certain period of time. Now, building 30 houses at once is not intimidating to me, right? And it won't be intimidating to you, more importantly, as you continue along the journey. But falling in love with the game, which is what we're talking about tonight, that is how you're going to last. They say success or entrepreneurship is not a game of success or talent or winning quickly. It's a game of outlasting. It's a game of outlasting. Those who outlast love the game. That's the only reason they outlast, is because they love the game. They fell in love with it. Even when something went wrong, they still loved it. They learned from it because they're like, oh, I'm gonna get it next time. They're optimistic, which is the next one. Guys, as you have questions, drop in the chat, drop in the comment section. Brickle French asked a quick question and then we'll get back to it. For the Done For You program, do you all ever take a big house and renovate it to a multifamily? Absolutely. We've done 5 units, 6 units. There's actually a 8-unit building. I'll leave that question up. There's actually an 8-unit building that I'm currently vetting and going to send out to our Boots on the Ground members this week. And somebody, it's funny because somebody was going to join Boots on the Ground and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't see any multis, or show me a multi. And I'm like, bro, like there's multis in Philly. It's the 6th largest city in America. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm making it up or making up Philly. And this was a New Yorker, so I was kind of surprised by their energy there. But yeah, you can do single to multifamily conversions. We've done things like buy a single family 2-story, blow the roof off, just dissect it, take the roof off, build up a 3rd story, and convert it into a duplex. So building up additions and converting into multifamily, or single to multifamily conversions. We do all that stuff all the time. So you can definitely do that. We're working on a lot of deals like that right now. So there are, verifiable Boots on the Ground members and deals we could send you in numbers and metrics. In fact, I'm waiting for some permits to clear on one of these deals right now. Optimism. So let's get into this question. My IG chat is silent. My IG chat is silent. If you guys have questions, drop them in the comment section. You must be optimistic in this game. This game is not for pessimists, which is why when some people reach out to me and they're just like, well, I'm skeptical. How do I know this? And I'm just like, that attitude, it's almost like they think they're hurting me with that. They think like I'm desperate to work with them and build for them. And there's so many people that need the help. I'm like, it does. If you need the help, I will help you. If you don't, or you're not ready, cool. Like go sit on the sideline. But to me, it's sad because I just see a pessimist. I don't see someone who's skeptical of me. Because if you did your research, you would just see, well, this guy's just kind of stood there and built a bunch of houses. He's not going to run away. He's just going to build some houses. It's what he does. But it shows to me that you are pessimistic about many things, because how you are about anything, how you do anything is how you do everything to a degree. It's not true across the board, but from an attitude standpoint, it is true. Your attitude towards anything is almost your attitude towards everything. You ever know somebody who always overreacts? It doesn't matter what it is, right? So when you are walking around constantly pessimistic of everything and skeptical, you can't fall in love with the game. You can't get over hurdles because your natural default is pessimism. That's your natural default. So I can either do real estate therapy with you to get you to see the big picture so that you can fall in love with the game, or you will lose opportunity. Real estate is not a physical game. Even though this is a physical asset, it's a mental game. It's just like sports. Guys playing the NBA, go ask them, is this mental or physical? 90% mental, 10% physical. That's why there's some guys in the NBA that can't even jump high, but their IQ is crazy. It's a mental game. Being pessimistic is a guaranteed way to lose, because however you view real estate, it will reflect that back to you. However you view it. If you have optimism, you will see many opportunities and many deals and many multis, and you will see a lot. If you are pessimistic, you will get told no on one offer and you will crumble. And you will convince yourself. You'll even try to be bold enough to try to convince somebody like me that there's no opportunity out there. Somebody who builds hundreds of houses a year, that it's impossible for you to do one. You'll try to convince me of that because of your mindset. You can never convince me because I don't vibrate on that frequency. I'm on the optimism side. So you want to be optimistic, guys. Mindset is everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So choose wisely how you want to do everything and how you want to view your life. Some of you view your lives so negatively, complain about your lives all damn day. That's no way to live. You must stay positive even when things are going wrong. The reason why you do it is because there's a reward for it. You'll learn that over the course of time. There is no reward for getting negative. This is Kung Fu. One door closes, another door opens. Staying positive allows you to see that faster and navigate and understand that there is no hurdle. There is no obstacle this game can throw at you that you can't solve. That's your mindset. That's why you stay positive. Why are you positive? Everything's going to hell in a handbasket because I know beyond a reasonable doubt, my mindset, my belief system is there is no obstacle that can hold me back. There is no obstacle that can stop me that I can't go around. I'm just going to find it. This is a challenge. That's where you're at. And then when you do conquer that obstacle, you know for a fact the next one ain't real. It's imagined. It's not real. It stands up like a big boulder. It's a peacock. When you run up on it and its feathers fold in, like, damn, that bird's this big. I thought it was this big. It was always the same size. It's just a question of how big do you want to make the issue. And then resilience, being resilient, never giving up, never throwing in the towel, understanding that you're being molded. This is what a real estate investor is. What did you think a real estate investor was? Some guy who pulled some money out of his pocket, jumped in the game, and never ran into an issue? Is that what you thought a real estate investor was? Why do you think real estate investors are hardened in a certain way, are confident in a certain way? Because they've been molded through resilience, continuing to wake up and show up. It's like for my athletes out there, it's like going to practice after losing the game, knowing the coach is pissed off and you're going to run sprints. And you got to show up anyway, fired up. Sometimes I'm going to get so fired up while running the sprints, I'm not drinking water. I'm gonna be so locked in. I'm not drinking water all practice. You have to. I'm not drinking. I'm not tired. Even if I'm tired, my mindset today is I'm not tired. Even if I know I'm running sprints, you're not breaking me today. I'm not tired. Let's go. I'm back on the line. Even if I don't make the time, I'm running it. You want to be resilient with the game, and it'll stop. If it sees you're resilient, it'll say, okay, they go to the next level. If it sees you complain and complain and it's going to keep burying stuff on you. All you're going to find is what you seek. All you're going to find in this game is what you seek. So you gotta. It's your mental talk that is gonna make you win or make you lose as a real estate investor. Your mental talk, not mine. These sessions will help you, but you still got to deal with you. So, optimism is everything. A skeptic to me is somebody who just needs to go do more research. Go do more research. Go do your thing. But don't be so skeptical that you become skeptical of everything, because you're going to lose. And it ain't about me or the opportunity or the next opportunity. I already know you're going to lose because your mindset. You're easy to break because you're skeptical already. You're waiting for proof of your skepticism. If you were optimistic, you'll be waiting for proof of your optimism, and you will find what you seek. It's really that simple. You're in control and you're in charge. This isn't the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5, you're not in control and you're not in charge. You just show up, they tell you what to do, you do it, you get a check. Real estate ain't the 9 to 5. You're in control, you're in charge. You call the shots, which is good and bad, right? Work on your mindset. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe. Share the content with someone who you want to get value. And if you're interested in any of our done-for-you programs, boots on the ground, we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. So we'll build them for you. We'll get them Section 8'd. We'll manage them for you, 5%. So the tenant calls something, we pick up, we go send somebody out, we handle the issue. And we don't mark you up on fees. Like a lot of these management companies, you guys don't know that. Some of you've never really dealt with them before, but they'll mark you up on fees. They'll bang you on fees. They send a guy out to cut the grass. They pay that guy $50. They charge you $200. That's how they make money. So they say, oh, we only charge 10%. But before you know it, they're making more money than you. Juggernaut Realty said, what state, what city? My favorite cities are Philly and Baltimore. That's my big two. That's my big two. But we will help you across the country. We're working with investors across the country. So if you need to unlock, like I'm helping one investor unlock Rhode Island, great opportunities out there. Great opportunities in Connecticut. We'll talk about just a quick riff of where I'm seeing good value. Great opportunity in Rhode Island. Great opportunity in the greater Boston area. Great opportunity in Rochester, New York, and upstate parts of upstate New York. Good opportunity in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Delaware, South Jersey, Atlantic City Expressway, Pennsauken, Camden County. I'm seeing values there. I'm seeing there are parts of Orlando, Jacksonville. There's some value there, right? There's some buy and flip deals there. There's some good stuff there. So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing where else am I seeing? I'm seeing the Carolinas have some value. North Carolina, Raleigh. Like there's value there. There's some value in Arkansas. There's some value in San Diego and some of these markets. It just depends on your strategy and how you unlock it. But I'm seeing value everywhere. Everywhere. There are deals happening everywhere. The question is, how do you get in on those deals? Can you see the value? Do you know the cost of construction? If you talk to a skeptic, right? Somebody who's skeptical of real estate, you go to them, hey, should I invest in real estate? No, they give you all these horror stories, even though they probably never done a deal, right? Bring them a property that you're interested in, the same skeptic. Ask them, how much will it cost to put this back together? Crickets. The same person with so much to tell you. How much does this cost to put back together? Crickets. No, they don't know anything. That's the problem with a skeptic. That's why you don't want to be a skeptic, because they don't know anything. What do they know? How to be skeptical. but they don't actually have any actionable knowledge. They don't know the cost of construction. They don't know lending fees or what lenders to go to and why and how and what the requirements are and how to position yourself and how to scale up. They don't know any of it. So what value is it? But it's presented to you as the most valuable thing is skepticism. The most valuable thing I can hand you is my fears and doubts. Well, God bless you and God bless America. But what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with your fear and doubts? But be afraid and doubtful. And what has that gotten you? It's gotten me all of this fear and doubt. It didn't get you much of anything. Victory. A lot of you don't understand what victory is. A lot of you think, because I talk to you, I know what you say. I know what you're thinking. I need 10 grand a month. I need 20 grand a month. I've had people tell me they need 50 grand a month in a year from real estate for it to be valuable and worth their time. 50 grand a month within a year. They don't know what victory is. You got to celebrate small wins. It's not the 100th deal that changes you. It's the first deal. It's the small win. It's the $500 a month that you didn't even think it was real because you're so skeptical still. You didn't think it could happen. Not for me. No, they'll pay them. Will they pay me? Will it work? How does it work? But then you get a check. Oh, small win. Your first deal. Your first rent check. Do you guys really understand, for those who haven't done it before, what that first rent check feels like? Somebody in the chat, if you're an active investor and you've gotten your first, if you can remember your first rent check, your first positive cash flow. Hey, my mortgage was $1,000 and I got $1,500. Somebody drop in the chat what that felt like. How transformative that was. Juggernaut Realty said, I will never forget my first check. That is the transformation. That is all you need to know. Not any fear or doubt, but all you need to know is when you get that first check. And it's not a question of can it happen? It's how can I do more? How can I scale up? How can I go faster? That's the game changer. So even if you come in, Victor said it was a blessing. Somebody, Lo676 said, changed my life for sure. For sure. For certain. It's a life changer. There's nothing like it. There's no drug. There's no adrenaline rush like that. Like, hey, I just reached out and grabbed the money out of thin air. What the? Millie said addicting. I'm telling, there is no drug. There is no rush. There is no feeling like it. It's like, damn, how can I chase that thing? Can I get another hit of that? You know, that, like it's the game. It's the love. At that moment, you may be bitten by the bug. You may be hit by Cupid's real estate arrow. You're going to fall in love potentially. But you have to get this understanding that it is the first one. So you don't need to come in with your big city dreams. They actually don't matter. You know what my big city dream was? How I was going to get so big in real estate. I was going to do one deal a year for 10 years. And I would have 10 properties, pay me $1,000 a month, and I would ride off into the sunset. That was my big city dream. I did 300 deals in my first 7 years. Your big city dream don't matter. Some of you have such a big city dream, you won't get started. And you never get your first deal because you're so worried about deal 50 and 20K a month. You think from your purview that you will be transformed at 20K a month. By the time you hit 20K a month, you won't even care. It won't even be an acknowledgement to you. You will be so unplugged. That version of you doesn't even think in those terms. They're just like, whatever. Next deal, let's keep going. Don't, because you don't even understand the value of the money not really being taxable. You think you need 20K because you're thinking 20K taxable and what that can do for you. You don't understand the value of 12K not taxable. Feels better than 20K sometimes. because of the control of it. It's just coming in and ain't going nowhere. And who you have to become to scale. As you start seeing the value of your money in real estate, you stop spending on dumb stuff. Because you're like, I got to get more in the game. So the version of you that achieves your biggest dream, it doesn't even care that it achieved that. It has a bigger dream than that you're too small to envision right now. Or this is just an important part of your journey. It's not even as negative as being like, I'm too small, I can't see. But you're part of your journey and who you need to become. You don't just, and you're that person. To a degree, boots on the ground can make you a super accelerated version of where you're at, because you snap your fingers, join the Boots on the Ground program, and I unlock leverage on you, leverage and systems and, operation. That can allow you to go faster than you could on your own, substantially faster. But even as a Boots on the Ground member for 2 or 3 months, you're a lot different. Even though you guys can't see it, maybe from your purview, I can. And the version of you I talked to 3 months into the program is not the same person who was on my phone call saying, I'm thinking about it. It's not that person. It's a different person who has different higher level questions. Hey, what do you think about the cash on cash return here? Hey, I don't really like this neighborhood. I've seen this and that's not the person I talked to 3 months ago couldn't even think like that. Your transformation will create your trajectory. Your trajectory, when you start, it feels like it's here. But every time you get smarter, you change your course. You start dialing that thing up. You get exponential growth from the dial up of the knowledge. Stack your confidence. 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins. You know what's better than your first rent check? When you get that second property, damn, that thing's cash flowing too. Damn, that one's cash flowing on me too. Now I got to get 3 of them. Stack wins. Don't come in thinking I got to hit the 10 unit or it ain't worth it. No, that's wrong. Why do you think a monopoly, they get the 4 houses and then get the hotel? The journey, the stacking of confidence. It's hard to jump in and just grab the hotel. But if you stack the 4 houses, the hotel starts looking smaller, more obtainable, more achievable. Stack your wins. Celebrate every small win, because that is the victory. The victory is the journey. The victory is not necessarily the destination, because you never get there. What I'm trying to tell you is by the time you get there, you will have a bigger destination that you will never quite arrive to. And by the time you get close to it, you will set a bigger one. You won't even wait to achieve these things. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. Share the content with someone who you want to get value. If you're interested in our Done For You programs, reach out. Boots on the ground. Find, finance, rehab, tenant, manage. Plug and play. Hey, I want to invest in my backyard. Hey, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, we got some value down in Memphis. There's some cheap properties down there. There's some cash flow down there. We'll show you how to unlock it. We'll analyze the deals for you. We'll get the offers out for you. We'll do the negotiations for you. We're going to stand by you. That's an interesting proposition that inevitably we won't be able to do forever, because things fill up. Words get out. E, let's get to the last one. E, let me see if we have any questions. That is right there. I had to think about that one. I'm not sure what I said, Pender, but a lot of this is a mindset session. So we are digging deep. There's definitely Vino Brown Cartwright said, I'm subscribed currently in Atlanta. There's definitely some value in greater Atlanta, Macon, Georgia. Like there's some value out here. There's people getting it in out here in these markets, in your backyard. Virginia Beach. Brickell's out in VA, Virginia Beach. There's some value out there. I was just talking to somebody, I can't remember who had a Virginia Beach deal. And I was like, damn. Like, all right, that deal's looking good. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of these guys and talking heads is I'm actually seeing and analyzing or have a hand in and sourcing off market all across the country. I'm seeing all the valuations. Some of these guys look at data. Oh, it looks like the prices are going down, and they do all this kind of economic macro analysis. I'm actually standing there building houses and and have involvement with deals all across the country. So there's just a different, there's just a different level. Let's get into this last one. E. E is for excellence. Seeking excellence. And we're going to define what that is. You want to strive for mastery of real estate. Mastery, I think, will happen when you achieve critical mass. Critical mass is when you learn 51% of the logic of how the real estate moves. That means you understand how, we'll kind of narrow this down. That means you understand how L&I, license and inspection, how they think in general. Meaning the general types of permits you need, the general processes and timelines. Do they care? Do they not care? Is the city developer friendly? Is it not? How long do things generally take to process? What are the steps involved? You start learning general logics. You start seeing 30-day turnaround times and this and rental licenses. And you start understanding how to navigate. Once you learn 51%, so you don't need to know every permit. But once you know the general process for pulling permits, you know what you're getting into. You know who you need to go to, who you need to talk to, and how to navigate it. You've learned critical mass. So any problem, when you first are presented with the problem of pulling a permit, your eyes get super big and you're just like a deer in the headlights. You're like, For those who know, like Tim the Tool Man Taylor, you do the home improvement. You're like, what do I do? And that takes you 6 months to get the permits. The next time, a month. The next time, you might accelerate them a week, 2 weeks. You learn how to navigate. Then when that problem presents itself that scared the hell out of you, it doesn't scare you anymore. You're just like, let me call John. It just becomes one of those. You shoot a text. I got another one for you. Okay. Same price. All right, cool. You'll be there on Tuesday. Got it. Put that on your assistant's to-do list. Follow up on Wednesday. Make sure it's done. Get that processed and submitted. Okay, cool. Maybe you guys are back to playing golf. Whatever you guys like to do with your time. Strive for mastery. Strive for critical mass. You do not need perfection. This is not about perfection, but about improvement, constant improvement. So we strive for excellence, which is mastery, and attaining critical mass, which is what our course content, our VIP course content. If you click that link, it should be in the description. If you guys come to the YouTube channel, if you're on IG, you can click in my IG stories, come to the YouTube channel. There will be the link, workwithgrimes.com/offer, workwithgrimes.com/offer. Maybe I could drop it. I'll try to drop it actually as a banner. You can go there and tap into the course content, and that can help you. Yeah, I can do that and drop it as a banner. You can go to that link, workwithgrimes.com/offer. You can cop the course content and learn. The course content is designed to be well-rounded. We've had good feedback on the course content. Someone told me, I won't name the talking head out of respect for them and whatever they're building. I don't know them personally, so I don't want to speak on them or their operation. But they said, hey, look, they jumped on a live. So if you see it, you see it. They said like, hey, I jumped in your program for the 27 and I had paid like a couple grand to get into the other one. This is like 10x the value as what I paid a couple grand to get into. So tap in. That price is going to go up next week. So this will be like the last time people are tapping in dirt cheap. So you can go there and lock in. But it's about achieving mastery and achieving well-roundedness. I'm trying to teach you within the course content I'm trying to teach you 100%, quite frankly, or like at least 90%. I want to teach you everything because I'm not arrogant enough to even say I have the 100%. I'm trying to teach you 100% of my path, my way, which would accelerate you over a decade. But I'm not saying that's the end of the game because I'm not going to limit myself to say where I'm at is the end. That's arrogance. And that would limit me in my trajectory, right? but giving you guys enough to be able to do 100 deals a year. That's a hell of a give me for $27, quite frankly. And people will and are outdoing it, by the way. There are people who've taken the knowledge and have already done verifiably 25 deals in a couple of years. I've already seen it, or 30 deals in a couple of years. So I've been not even surprised by that, but just, glad to see that type of stuff. But getting that 51%, you will get through the course content, because we're teaching you a broad spectrum of the game, multiple strategies, 10, 15 strategies, off-market deal sourcing, creative financing, Section 8, and low-income affordable housing, real estate development, full gut rehabs. These are skill sets that you can take, and in not striving for perfection, but constant improvement, constantly improving and building upon these, you can do whatever you want. We've had people take it, go do ground up deals, like not just a guy, but multiple people. I've had people do over 30, 40 ground up deals with the knowledge system strategies, that we kind of give. So definitely tap in and kind of learn. But don't focus on perfection. A lot of us don't start because we want to learn so much that we feel like we mastered it and we're at perfection. We know 100% of everything. Get on the call. Brian, what if the tenant doesn't pay? We need to find the deal first and build it first. We got to find it, get it financed, connect with the lenders, get it closed, get it rehabbed. There's so much time before we get to the tenant not paying. In order for the tenant to not pay, we have to find a tenant it. There's so much more to learn. Why are you worried about this? You're too far in the future. You want perfection of every stage, even the stages that are so far down that they're not important right now. And that's holding you back from getting started because it's creating fear. You think that by being perfect and knowing everything, then you won't be afraid. You're going to be afraid until you do it. In fact, you will never know it until you do it. And then you'll improve upon it. And you have a good sounding board in me, because I've made all the stupid mistakes that you're about to. If you go off and be boneheaded, I've already made those mistakes. I already had that thought. And it's not far-fetched because I've been doing it for over a decade. So that's not even arrogant to say, yeah, I thought about that. I know you're about 10 days into your journey. Believe it or not, over the last 10 years and doing this 100% of my time and energy, I thought about that. It's not that smart. And it's going to blow up in your face. It's like the cartoon where you smoke the cigar. The guy like smokes the cigar and at the end it just blows up and his whole face is black. What else do we have here? Long-term vision. Excellence is about long-term vision. You can hear even in how I'm speaking, I don't want to be so arrogant to even say, I know it all. I know a lot. But I don't want to live in the belief system that I know it all, because then I'll stop learning. I will find my belief system, which is I know it all. So I will create the reality where I know it all, and I'll just shut myself off from learning. Learning, constant improvement is part of the long-term vision. And having the long-term vision with real estate is so important because a lot of this stuff doesn't matter. Like I said, even your first check, it's very exciting. It's the best. And we're talking about all these levels of the journey. But long term, as you scale up, deal 101 won't feel any different than deal 70. Won't feel any different than deal 40. Won't feel any different than deal 20. Is the reality of the situation. It all just kind of feels the same. So long-term, you want to focus in your long-term growth on long-term cash flow, understanding that rental properties are like plants, not concrete fixed things. Even though they are concrete, they grow over time. They appreciate in value, so they grow in value. The rent grows. So it's kind of like branches growing out. The cash flow grows because rents tend to inflate and go up over time, especially when you're buying in major cities like Philadelphia, the 6th largest city in the country. So as you're doing that, that's growing. You're getting tax losses, tax write-offs. You can sell into that value, or you can refinance out more debt into that value. So as that mortgage is getting paid down, you could refinance as this property appreciates 100K. Let me reach over and grab 50K. How can you grab that 50K? Because the rent went up 500 a month. And I had the debt service coverage. You know, DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio. Well, when the rent went up $500 a month, that increased my debt service coverage. The cash flow covers the debt. That means I can access some of that appreciation in the form of a home equity line of credit or a refinance. If rates go super low, maybe it's a long-term refi to just lock in a 4% on a rental. Long-term vision. You will be rewarded. You need only focus on keeping your head down, staying focused on building deals, and trying as much as possible to enjoy the process, even when it feels painful, even when it gets hard. And not biting off more than you can chew. Biting off more than you can chew comes from greed. It comes from greed and scarcity. Greed is born of scarcity. So maybe it just comes from scarcity mindset. Believing you have to do it fast and you have to do X amount and certain amount of time for it to mean anything, and having all these beliefs that are short-term vision. Because you doing one deal or two deals or three deals, that's still short-term vision. To me, this isn't about that. I'm not sitting around thinking about that, even though I am, because you do want to think about doing a deal to do a deal. Like you have to think about doing a deal to do a deal. So it is important, but it shouldn't be your obsession. Your obsession should not be your short-term goals. They should just be there. But to me, if you're doing it, if you're in the game, you're winning because you can always accelerate exponentially. You think linearly as a human being because that's how we're wired to think. That is literally and technically how we're wired to think. And it's part of what keeps us alive. So it's innate, it's ingrained. But reality, the universe is exponential, the growth. It's like think about like you plant one clover and it multiplies exponentially. You come back, or you plant some moss, you come back. That's how the universe works. Real estate as a physical asset it has that multiplication impact. So you just got to focus on the long term. Make that your obsession. Make your systems, or hey, when I get to 10 deals, then I can get the warehouse and do this and do this and do that and scale up. Fall in love with that vision. Don't fall in love with your short-term vision and then get frustrated because it doesn't match it. Your long-term vision has a much higher likelihood of success than any short-term vision anyway. Because if you just keep chipping away at the thing, it's going to tap out anything. So have a long-term vision and have a big long-term vision. That's positive. That's positive. And just push every day to get there. But never focus on perfection. Focus on excellence. And you'll just have a better ride. So you guys have that. That's the love formula. That is the love formula for falling in love with real estate. You have to be locked into these different mindsets, and then you just never fall out of love with it because you understand the long-term value of it. You understand the legacy. You're optimistic within your wiring because you understand the rewards of being positive and finding solutions versus being stuck in your pessimism. Most pessimistic people don't have much. And it's because they're pessimistic to their own detriment. They just can't see it. That's part of the pessimism and skepticism trap. Being skeptical is fine, but it's also, there's a form of ignorance there. There's a form of, I don't trust my ability to underwrite whether or not this is a good opportunity. So therefore I become skeptical of it. Well, that's fine, but just go improve your ability to underwrite. Get a $27 course, improve your ability to underwrite. Then you can underwrite a deal. Then you know if an opportunity is good. That's the funny part is I don't have to convince somebody who knows. how to evaluate properties, I don't have to convince them that Philadelphia is a good opportunity. They can go on Redfin and look at deals in Philadelphia and see that there's opportunity. They will only need to understand that I built houses, and I built hundreds of houses, over 400, and that it's not that big of a deal. They only need to understand that aspect. Whereas somebody else who has no ability to underwrite, they have to get like, well, why Philly and why this? It's like, bro, you could see it. We need to improve your knowledge, your ability to understand the cost of construction, comparable sales, the differences in how appraisers think about buy and flips and buy and holds, the different lending costs and different lending options that are available to you, the credit score requirements, the liquidity and cash reserve requirements, the tenanting opportunities that are available to you, how they work, what's fast, what's slow, what's better long-term, what's better short-term. You need only have knowledge of these opportunities, how to source deals on market, off market, creative financing, subject to lease purchase options, land contracts, how to structure LLCs, how to structure trusts, domestic, offshore. Just having knowledge of these things allows you to navigate. Now you can look at the market and you can choose. Because every market in America is either a buy and flip or a buy and hold market. Some are both, none are neither. That shouldn't be news, but that's the reality. None are neither. Every state, I'll say, because there are going to be some markets where it's like the town's going downhill, right? But in major cities, we're saying major cities or major destinations, they're either buy and flip, buy and hold, or both. None are neither. So you just need to learn how to navigate this stuff so that you can get in the game. Discover by the knowing comps and the cost of construction and the cost of lending and where the price points you can buy properties for, if there are flip profits available to you in your market, or if there are burst strategy opportunities available to you in your market. Either of those strategies can get you in the game at a level where you can create value and feed your family and build a legacy. Victor, I need my 56 houses community home, chipping away till I get there. It's going to come together. I think you're going to build, Victor. Actually, I know. I'm going to be arrogant and say, I know you're going to build hundreds of houses. I know for a fact. There's not a doubt in my mind. Not one doubt that you will build, I think, over 500 houses. And I think if you hit 500, you'll hit 1,000. Because you don't believe in limits. Big dream. It's a huge dream. That's a much bigger dream than I could dream when I was just getting started. Victor said, Brian is putting you on for free. Imagine if you get the $27 course. Yeah, imagine the funniest part about the $27 course is there's somebody watching right now who's probably been watching for like over 30 minutes, who's still is so skeptical. Just like, I'm not going to get that $27 course. Like they don't believe it and they're going to miss it. It happens. It's crazy, but it's part of it. It's part of the game. Your mindset will keep you from the opportunity more than anyone can. More than anyone can. There really is no competition as a real estate investor but you. You are your biggest competition, your ability to think. So guys, hope that session helped. Hope that session helped. Definitely, if you struggle with mindset, watch it again. Because unlocking any of this mindset stuff, one little thing to focus on, any one of these bullet points, quite frankly, you can get yourself at least a couple of deals and much faster, and you'll scale much faster with a better mindset. We got a couple more questions we'll answer, and then we will wrap this thing up. Would you buy a nice property, but it's a row home next to a vacant? Yeah, I would do it, and I do it all the time. There's not issues with that. I used to think, well, depends, right? So you need to know the percentage of the block. Like, if I do this in Philly and I buy a row home next to a vacant property, but most of the block is good, which is going to be the case in Philly right now because there's so much development, even in some of the rougher neighborhoods. The appraiser is just going to come out and run it. They're just going to run the property as its own independent house. I've also done things like, if there was a problem, I'm a Spider-Man in. One, I'm building reasonable enough profit margins into my deals. I'm doing so many deals that the front windows, let's say there's 5 windows on average. There's a basement window, 2 first floor windows in the front on the first floor, and 2 windows in the front on the second floor. For the living room, maybe there's a bay, but hopefully there's just 2. Even a bay, I can take out and reframe into 2. And then there's going to be 2 above for the bedroom, the upstairs bedroom, front bedroom, right? That's 5 windows at, let's call it $300 a window. With install, I'll pay one guy 2 days, $500. One day to kind of frame it out, one day to pop them in. That's pretty, $2 grand. I'm Spider-Man through that crib, and I'm putting in windows. Now it looks good. I might take the front door off this one, put it on that one, so it's a little fresher. I'll just go in if it's vacant like that, get my appraisal done, and I'm going to run that play. I'm going to run that play every time. I'm playing to win. So you can do stuff like that, but what I found, even in today's market, there's less of those situations. There were more of those 10 years ago than now. In a market like Baltimore, there are still those situations, and the mindset is different. So you need to know which market you're in. But in general, like the appraiser in a market like Philly, they're just going to run the property like a regular property because most of the houses on the block are good. It's really when you get into markets like Baltimore where you could get on a block and it's like there's 60 houses and 30 of them are vacant. So then when you're next to the vacant, it really it kind of pulls you down a little bit because it's like, yo, this whole block is run. Now the lender, not the lender, the insurance man starts getting concerned. The lender too, but really the insurance guys. That's what stops the deal. If you can't get the insurance, you can't get the lending. It's the insurance man who really will come in and be like, we're not insuring this. Too many vacants. It's got vacants on both sides. We can't insure this property. Now you have a problem. So now you're paying expensive insurance, eating into your cash flow. But most of the time they don't, they just don't care. I will say. So it depends on how developed the market is. You want to have an appraiser, somebody you talk to, and you need to understand the general philosophy of how appraisers think. That's part of valuation. You need to know how these guys think. They're like every other group of kids. They play in a sandbox. Learn the parameters, learn the rules, and you can play. Which for the calls for you guys, if you want to book a call, I would just reach out. I would DM me or just drop a comment, Lydia, that says boots on the ground, and just book a call with the team. Connect with us. If you got the text, that means you're in our system. So you probably got an email or something. Just reach out, book a call with us. I'll keep an eye out for you. I'll double back through this and keep an eye out. But we can break down how everything works. Please work with me here in Be More. Yeah, Be More is the next frontier. I mean, I'm already doing deals there. I was actually just looking at a land deal, 4 acres in the city for like $100K. And I was like, damn, that looks appetizing. That's enough to run Victor's play, So definitely Baltimore is a good market. If you need help there, reach out. We're not hard to get a hold of. Definitely run to the, if you join our community group, I mean, it'll be very easy to connect. I would go to workwithgrimes.com/offer, tap into the community group. And it'll be easy to get a hold of us. Click the link in the description. Somebody said, I struggle with funding. I just lost my main stream of income now. I have more debt than income. Credit at a 670. That's not bad. But I just want to get one fix and flip to put me back where I need to be, but I'm not giving up. Main stream of income. I would say, how much liquidity do you have to invest? That's really the only question. Once you have over a 620 credit score, you're kind of clear. And then it's a question of liquidity. Lenders want to see 35. I mean, most lenders won't go under 25K liquidity. If you have about, for like a construction loan, for a fix and flip, if you have about 35 to 50,000 of liquidity, you can have retirement accounts, you can have different things. That'll start to put you in the ball game. You can have business credit. You can run that play. Business credit cards. You know, I've seen people run all these plays. But go there and just tap in with us. Where are we building? We're building in Philly right now. It's, to me, one of the best markets, sister city to New York City, city of the world. New York City gets priced out. People move to Philly. It's just being built out. Properties are, the values right now are just insane. The best values I've seen in years. It's one of the greatest times. It's a cash grab. And with rates verifiably coming down right now, it's going to turn into a feeding frenzy. I think between 2028, I think between now and 2028, it's just going to keep speeding up. It's going to heat up. There's a lot of interest in that market. And market's just getting unlocked. We'll just pay the 30 and run up the ARV. Definitely. You can run up the ARV one too. I was thinking about buying a row home, living in it, and renting out the rooms. What neighborhoods are the best for? Yeah, we spoken about this. Fishtown's a little too expensive. Brewery Town, you could do it in, depending on the right market. You could do it in Temple Hospital. You could do it in Germantown. I think Germantown would be a great play to do it. You could do it in Alany, but that depends on if you want to live there. You could do it in you know what's a good market? Overbrook, like West Philly. Overbrook market is a good market that's going to expand. I would do it probably in West Philly, or I would go uptown, Germantown, Mount Airy. I would get out there, or I would go to the Northeast, and I would do it there. I wouldn't do it in Fishtown. Fishtown's all bought up. Fishtown, you catch a cab, go out to a bar. But if it depends on if you want to make like value. It depends on how hard you want to go. For me, if you're going to FHA house hack, go for it. Get the value, get the money right now. This is the time to sacrifice and go C-class and ride the value ladder. Your money's going to 3x. Your future self will thank yourself. But there are some good markets. Fishtown, Point Breeze. I mean, if you have a lot of capital to park, that's fine. But you're not going to cash flow or anything or like live for free right now with where prices are. Not unless you are buying and building or rehabbing. Interesting. Point Breeze, any neighborhoods to avoid? Avoid Kensington. Avoid the deep hood, zombie land. And you'll be good. You'll be pretty good. I mean, there's plenty. It just depends on your strategy, man. It's hard for me to give you that specific of advice, not fully understanding your situation and who you are, because there's a personal aspect to that. What about building where we can get building plans for Philly? I'm not sure what the question is, Jazzy. What about building? Where can we get building plans for Philly from an architect? I have an architect. I actually share my architect with you guys in our community group. The exact same guy I use. All of the resources are there. David, definitely reach out. I see your question about Justin. Definitely reach out. All right, looks like we are out of questions, guys. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in our Boots on the Ground program where we find finance, rehab, tenant manage for you, just reach out, DM me Boots on the Ground, shoot me an email, text, whatever's easier. We have limited space for that program. Can't build houses for everyone, but we are having lots of success. I think we had seven move-ins, like Section 8 tenants, and some market tenants that are paying nice money. They're paying some good numbers for you guys. They're paying $1,250 a month cash market for a 1-bed. That's a lot. I know a lot from my Philly people. I know a lot of 3 beds they used to rent for 1,000, 1,100. Not that long ago. Not that long ago at all. They're paying $1,250 in Brewery Town for a one bed cash. First last security. Boom. So we've had about 7 move-ins, Section 8, some good cash rent move-ins this month. I think we had about, I want to say we had 10 or maybe 12 deals go under contract or more. We had a lot that just recently went under contract and got approved on the rehab budgets. Some budgets were reduced. There's been a lot of activity in that program, but we just can't do it, for everyone. So if you're interested, just reach out. And then we had to plug and play. If you want to just scale up your backyard, like I know a lot of you have that fear because look, Philly's a great market. I'm not trying to sell you on Philly. Hopefully you can sell yourself on it to a degree. Just do some basic research on the market itself and see if you like the market opportunities. It is on Zillow's top 5 in the country, investment markets, along with Baltimore. It's a sister city. It has a lot of the things that I talk about, a lot of the value that I like to see. And I just happen to have a lot of resources there. I was lucky to be placed in Philly, quite frankly. Lucky with what I know about the market. Because it's like, damn, this market's been profitable for a long time. And I've seen a lot of people eat off of this market at insane levels. Like, damn, this market is bumping. Not that there aren't other good markets across the country. So if you want to do deals in your backyard, you might be shocked to find, hey, there's actually some opportunity right in your backyard. I know you have that fear of investing out of state anyway. So many of you just want to scale and have some support in your backyard. Have a deal analyst, somebody who can go out, analyze the market, find the best deals. That's half the battle because it's grueling when you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to analyze deals and you're trying to spend the time, but there's all of life's demands pulling you away. So you never quite see the value, even though it is in your market. You just can't see it. So to have a team come in, uncover those deals. These are the best deals. These are the prices we need to get them at. These are the average rehab budgets, timelines, lending fees. And here are the lenders to connect with. We're going to set up the LLC. We're going to get you pre-qualified. We're going to get you in the game. You're going to become now a hunter. Who you want to be is a striking distance person, a hunter who's sitting in the woods in camouflage with their eye aimed down a scope and a nice fluffy deer comes running by. But you got to be in striking distance. You got to be there waiting. So getting you in a striking distance and then bringing you deals, that is leverage. That is, done for you. And then connecting you with the relationships you need to execute. Some of you come to us, like we had one guy come to us. He already had contractors and different things. He's like, I just can't find the deals, man. And I never had the lending and I want to know I'm doing something a little better. So just helping them to scale and kind of unlock. So if you need that help with your backyard where you need a team, I need a damn team. I'm not arrogant enough to say I don't. I need a team. That's what I do. That's part of what makes me different is I team build better than most investors. I will team build. I will create systems and scale. But if you need help with that, because it does cost and it does take time, I will tell you guys that. To build a team of people to help you to go faster costs money and time in the form of training and systems. So being able to tap into that, it will accelerate you. It's just a natural gasoline on the fire. I mean, it's going to go a little faster than you going alone, a lot faster, quite frankly, and probably get you off to a better start, which is the goal. Because if you get just one quick win, you start stacking your wins, stacking your confidence, and you scale faster. So getting that good first deal is good to go. But guys, hope that helps. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor. Reach out if you have questions. I'll be rocking with my people who are in the community who tapped in. I'll put that link up one last time. So my people who are in and are tapped in, I'll be seeing you guys on the Wednesday night mastermind call where we'll be doing Q&A and just answering all your questions in greater detail because we can do different things on on the private call. So that'll be for my people who are locked in the community. And once again, we are shifting the Monday night lives to Wednesday night, 8:30. So this is the final episode of the Monday night live. Well, I'll see you guys moving forward on Wednesday night, 8:30. If you guys need me, reach out. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor.